down in the den, so go tell a friend. The best podcast on earth's about to begin. We got jokes and news and movie reviews. After Dark NC-17 with the crew. Interviews with the best artists around. So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Welcome to Down in the Den. It's your boy Marz, and I am back with another dope episode, and I am stoked because we have a dope artist who's making some awesome music. Welcome to the Den, my guy, J.Saucy. Bro, how are you doing today?
Sean, my guy, so good to talk to you. No complaints. Every day I try to wake up with the most energy I can pursue, and I appreciate this opportunity. So excited to get rocking and rolling with you.
Yes, sir. And brother, your energy is infectious. Your music is infectious. Your lifestyle is infectious. Your story is infectious. So I am super stoked to have you here. As you can tell, I have a huge smile on my face. So
Me too.
I'm a nerd. From the background, I see you have some nerd tendencies too, which is awesome, And as you know, every hero and villain has an origin story. It could be a radioactive bug bite. It could be your parents getting shot in the alley and you become Batman or something like that. Either way, there's something that triggers that makes you who you are. So,
Absolutely.
What's your origin story? How did J.Saucy become J.Saucy?
Absolutely. And you know what? I think even though this is the first question, it's one of the ones I'm most excited to answer because it is a little wild. So I'm going to try to run you through a quick but yet efficient and detailed summary. And if you want to go,
we have all the time in the world, so take as much time as you need.
So I guess really where it started was, I would, if I were to compare it, if you're bringing it back to a superhero, I would say it has to be the Hulk.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. The Hulk before wasn't always the Hulk. Kind of had this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing going, right? He was a scientist. He was a nerd. He was a passion of science, but he was always looking for something bigger and greater, and it was almost an accident. And the times it came out was when he was really angry and emotional, and he couldn't quite control it yet. And I feel like that is my origin story. Not to get too sad or deep, I'm a very happy, positive guy, but I lost a lot of life growing up at a young age, beginning probably in the first death that really affected me was my best friend passing away on my birthday in 6th grade. And that drew a lot of anger, a lot of emotions, a lot of sadness, a lot of passion at the same time. And I didn't know how to express it. In sports, I would get into fights. In schools, I would get into fights. And I was this smart kid, so I would get good grades. And they're like, Josh, what's going on, man? Like, how can we help you? And one day, my aunt started playing some music. And I hear Michael Jackson. I hear the Black Eyed Peas. And my heart just gets, it finally, I don't know, it got warm. It got warm all of a sudden. Like I was a cold young boy and it got warm. And I was like, okay, whatever this music thing is, because I feel like I wasn't even thinking about music when I was young. And my mom told me this story 2 days ago. She said, when I was 14, I crawled into bed. I woke her up. I shook her up at 4 a.m. and I said, Mom, I'm going to be a rapper. And she's like, a rapper? Yeah, she's a Chinese mom, normal tiger mom, wants you to be very successful in anything you do. And she said, you know what? If you want to be a rapper and that warms your heart, you do it. And I think ever since then, that's been my origin story. I've used music to aid me, to help mentally, emotionally, physically. It's been there for me. And it's kind of been my Hulk. And now that it's in the later stages and I can control when the Hulk comes out and use it at the right moment, I'm finally at peace with myself, Sean. So thank you. I know that was a long story, but
it's beautiful, man.
Say that is my origin story. And that's how it really, really started for me.
We're kindred spirits. When this interview is over, I'm going to show you a little something. But yeah, Hulk is my favorite as well.
Okay.
We met. It's same thing. I'm same thing. I'm a nerd, and but then you would have rage, and you don't know how to handle it or channel it. For me, it was entertaining in any way I could, stand up, whatever I could. I used to rap, but then it got to a point where I'm a bit older than you, so during the '90s, hip hop, it was very just violent everything. And I'm from a 2-parent home. I couldn't continue to rap and feel any integrity to what I was saying because I was like, I don't sell drugs. I'm a Boy Scout. That's not going to work. But I still love the music, so that's the only reason I put the mic down.
Yeah.
Now you're from one of my favorite places to visit, the Bay Area.
Thank
You
you.
represent the West Coast
Yes,
very
sir.
hard.
Yes,
West
sir.
Side, we
Yeah.
all know it's the best
The
side.
Bay to LA, honestly, man, I've been making waves. I graduated from a school in LA and did a lot of, performances and entertainment there. But my home and where I came from is the Bay, so I'm always back and forth. So absolutely,
Absolutely. And
yeah.
and being so coastal, I'm not even going to say Bay, I'm going to say coastal.
Mhm.
Regionally, LA has a very unique sound. LA
Yeah,
has a unique sound. The Bay has a unique
yeah,
sound. How would you describe your sound? Because it's very unique. There's elements, but there's elements of other stuff too that's just
yes.
completely awesome. How would you describe your sound?
I would say when people say, "Josh, are you a rapper? Are you a pop artist? Are you a singer?" I say, you know what? I know I'm an entertainer because I like to make people smile, but how I would describe my music is hip hop. I like to say hip hop because my biggest inspirations were from the pop scene. I love the theatrics of it. I love the dance. I love dancing. I box, I
Absolutely.
dance. My sister did ballet. And when I was a little boy, I would like, Mom, let me do ballet classes with her. I know that sounds funny. I'm a rapper, but I love it
It's
all.
not. Michael Jordan did ballet to help with his core strength, and I wanted to do it as well. And then after the
Yeah.
growth spurt didn't hit, I put basketball away because I was like, oh, I'm going to be in the fives forever. All right, let
Yeah.
me put the ball down. But you're absolutely right.
Exactly. So I have the hip hop, but then people, I would say the media and my fans almost started calling it um, grunge rap and then alternative rap. So I fall into these two categories because I make like the Hulk songs to release my anger, but I also when I can control the Hulk, I can say some very sad and meaningful things that doesn't just get the club jumping and turn it
Right.
up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a balance for sure.
And I definitely hear any artist that we reach out to. My producer brings them to me. I listen. They have to pass a test. They have to pass an ear test, and then I reach out for interview. So when I heard your stuff, I said, "Okay, this guy's going to be huge. Okay, this guy is saying personal items, personal things,
Yeah.
and it's dark. It's still good music, but it's dark. And then you have like your new song, Jump, which is just young and fun. It makes me wish I was still in my 20s that I bob my head out. I'm always like the oldest guy at the EDM concert. That's me, everyone's like
Oh,
Papa Mars with they put glitter in their beard, and I'm like, yeah, Papa Mars will make sure everyone's okay.
there we go.
Um, but with your new song, Jump, it's young, it's fun. What went into the creation of that track?
Yeah, great question. So before I even got to talk about that track, I got to shout out the people who helped me make it. If that's all right with you, their name is Wob.
Absolutely.
Their name is Wob Life, and I knew that they were the right person to continue making a lot of songs with when I met them because WAB stands for White, Asian, Hispanic, Black. So their whole thing was inclusivity. They brought screamo artists in, they brought rappers in, they brought singers in, R&Bs, drummers, cello. I used to play the clarinet. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, they're not only all ethnicity, demographic inclusive, they're all musically inclusive. So when I brought them my idea, I said, listen, I just dropped a very sad personal song about a breakup, about a very deep topic, that's actually trending right now, just about, and we can go into that later. And Jump, I said, I want to make it grungy. I want to make it fun. I want this beat to pop off and I want it to just let loose and hang out. So that is where the inspiration came from. And I will say in some of my songs, I definitely sit down, write. I know the A-B patterns to it, the poetry behind it. I see the vision. But this one, I said, I need to release the inner Hulk in me. I said, play the beat, and they call me one take sauce. I honestly freestyled it 3 to 4 times, and I turn around and there's like 20 people in the studio. They're like, this is incredible. They were just jumping. And that's when I know. I really let the people decide if my music's good. I'm so judgmental and critical and maybe I'll give some advice on that later because I could become better at that. But I know when people are bouncing to it and it lets them forget about the dark song that maybe I just put out or anything bad that's going on in their life and they can just bounce. That was my inspiration. And that's why I literally called it Jump. Jump out of any problems you're in, jump out of the depression, the anxiety. If you're in a bad relationship, something oppressive, let's just jump and have fun all together. So that's why the song Jump came to be. And yeah, thank you for asking about that. That song means a lot to me, even though it sounds like it's just the grunge, quick, kind of fast-paced song. It definitely took some technique to it for sure.
No, it is dope. And shout out to the team, Wob. It's great. And like I said, when you make an old bitter man like myself, I am bitter.
You ain't old.
I do not like everything that comes out. I'm very critical, but I respect energy and I respect music and I respect things that make. I don't care if someone can sing. I don't care if someone is the most lyrically inclined. If I feel something, that's the most important thing. There's artists that will rhyme every single word in the world, but you don't feel shit after the song. You have bars and you have energy and you have the vibe that I think is just gonna take you out of this world. So that is super dope, super
Thank,
dope.
thank
Now,
you.
you're more than a musician. You're more than a hip hop artist. Your online presence is very interesting. It exudes fun. It exudes youth. My notes that I have, if I could show you, it literally says entertainer, entertainer. And I meet a lot of artists who may have the music, but they don't have the star appeal, or vice versa. They have the star appeal, but their music is trash. You have both, which is very important. How important is your social media presence to market yourself? And like, because I tell artists out there, you have to market yourself. You can't
Yeah.
shut yourself out to any venue. What is the importance of your social media presence?
Social media is sometimes everything to a particular rapper and sometimes nothing. To someone like me, you hit it right on the dot. I didn't come from singing lessons. I'm not Rihanna. I'm not Beyonce. I'm not Michael Jackson. I'm not Elvis Presley, right? So I know my stuff comes from the energy, but I always want to focus, I think, on the end goal. And that is just positivity and spreading that. So I don't know if you could repeat your question one more time. I knew it had a loop around of what I was going to close it with, but what was the exact question?
Just how important is the social media to marketing yourself and getting yourself out there?
Yeah, so I would say to some artists, it's important. To me, it's very important because I am a personality. And in today's day and age, you see that, hey, you can make a low quality TikTok video, but if it's trending, an 8-year-old can have more streams than someone who's in the studio grinding every day. So social media is huge in today's day and age. I actually work for a company that is a streaming service and I'm a sales director there doing another grind. So I am in the whole social media world. But I personally love it because it feels natural to me. Just
Yeah,
waking up, telling people about my day, doing the vloggings, making polls, shouting you out, collaborating and networking. It is very, very important. And it also proves to yourself that if you're willing to do the social media, you're willing to be in front of the camera and you're willing to be exposed. And that is kind of two scary things jumping into the industry. So that's why I would recommend if you don't like the social media, yeah, I'm not in love with it. Like some days I just wake up and like, do I have to manage all my social media? But no, you do. I would encourage any artist to do that and push yourself because it does grow you. It brings interest. And it's just very important for networking, especially if you have the personality. And if you don't push yourself out of the comfort zone to try to do it, because hey, all it takes is one song. You can wake up one day and it might be 30 cameras outside your house. So why not practice on the phone with something right in front of you, right? And that's my outlook on social media. If it's really affecting you mentally, take a break from it. But if you can, practice, push yourself to the limit, and see who your fans are for sure.
absolutely. And that's the answer I was looking for because it's definitely about balance. Because sometimes it can drive you crazy. You start reading comments and they'll drive you crazy. But it's such a great tool. I've met so many great artists and been exposed to so many great artists that I wouldn't have been because people consume music differently. I last CD I bought was 2008.
Uh-huh.
So the music just comes fast and furious. There's so much out there. So having
Yes.
that presence separates, it may be a great song, but it won't get traction if you don't have that presence. So that is definitely something that I feel is extremely important. Now, you say you're a hip hop artist. I had put rock star hip hop artist in my notes, and you're definitely a rock star for sure. But
Thank
we
you.
share another passion besides Hulk and comic books and nerds. You're also a foodie. I've seen you. I've seen you have a little exposure out there. That's another one of my favorite things to do. We have another show on my network called Cooking with Marz. That's just really getting started because everyone says, "I love your cooking. Why don't you do something with it? What's your
Yes.
content?" I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yes.
So, are you a foodie when it just comes to consuming, or do you like to get down in the kitchen?
I like to. So I come from a Hispanic and Chinese background. It is that sounds crazy, right? I mean, back
So
then,
that's like my two favorite. I'm like my stomach. I started drooling a little
right?
bit. I'm like, I want to go to dinner at your house.
Yeah. So it's really funny because coming from that background, um, my parents weren't actually always accepted because it was young back then, interracial Chinese and Mexican. That is really unseen.
A unique.
And,
It's a
and
unique
it's
mix.
unique. But the one thing that kept all the families together on both sides were these giant banquets. And we would almost have this Asian Mexican fusion. So, like, there's like Mexican rice out there, but we put a little soy sauce, put a little lap chen, which is Chinese sausage, and we make that. So, I've been actually cooking in the kitchen since a very young age, watching some of my oldest ancestors cooking the most traditional Chinese Cantonese meals to the most, traditional Mexican meals. So I cook. I also explore a lot, and I'm signed up for a lot of apps that have like these limited time offers where it's like this new restaurant opened up. They have a new Crunchyroll. Go check it out and review it. So I actually like to connect with restaurants and say, hey, like do you want to do a little cross promotion and I'll review your food and shout it out and do a little like swipe up feature on Instagram, going back to the social media thing. So as far as the foodie thing, one, I love to eat. It's been part of my culture forever. But I say, just as much as music brings people together and it's not necessarily a language, hey, same with food, right? And I think that's where my passion comes. That's why I call myself a foodie. I could be with anyone in the table, and if we're enjoying a meal together, what's there to worry about? It's all love, right?
Food is love. It's definitely one of my love languages. My mother, oh man, she's one of the best cooks on the planet Earth. I'll put her
Shouts out to
soul
mom,
food,
Mama Mars.
Italian food, whatever you want. Mama Mars can throw down.
Let's
I have
go.
exes that still, hey, can your mom make me a key lime pie? I'm like, why are you calling me? I haven't talked to you in 6 years, but they're like, yeah, but your mama's food is so good. It's so good. Now here in the den, we're all about speaking truth to life here,
Yes,
and you mentioned Michael Jackson, who's my all-time favorite artist
yes, sir.
of all time. Being born in 1980, and I'm aging myself, but being born in 1980, I grew up in the Michael Jackson era where I used to moonwalk with socks in my kitchen
Let
and
go.
take sparkle and put it on my dad's work gloves. He's like, "Who the hell put sparkle on my work glove?" I don't know. Maybe it
Yeah,
fell.
yeah.
So, who is there out there right now that you are excited to work with, that you would love to work with or collaborate with? Is there any particular artists out there that you have on your dream list?
Yes. And it great question because there's so many artists I would love to work with because I actually love the oldies. I wish I could bring people back to life and I would
Uh,
die to work with Elvis, the Beatles, and just learn so much from them. But I think where my music realistically goes and where I could realistically make maybe a platinum record song one day, which is the goal, my friend. Um, Trippy Red,
love them,
Lil Uzi Vert, so these
love them.
very new wave rappers, right? And then I actually have some really, really lyrical stuff where I like to talk about culture, where I like to talk about peace, and I do it in a very slower way, so I can collaborate with people like also like Lil Baby and Young Thug, who might have some actually really interesting lyrics in there, but they have it almost distorted and they rap it really fast. And I think I could be a good kind of juxtaposition because I like to do the grunge, the quick, the high pitches, the low pitches, but I also like to if I'm featuring in a song, if we're collaborating in a song, I like to balance it. I like to be the balance in it. I don't like to keep riding this one kind of wave. I like to bring people kind of through an emotional journey as they go throughout my songs. So I think those would be some great artists. Lil Uzi Vert and Trippie Redd and I can kill a song. And shouts out to definitely Kendrick Lamar. I think he's one of the greatest of all times. I'll be honored to make something with him and Lil Baby. Those are all great rappers. As far
Absolutely.
as bands, shoot, I would love to work with like Travis Barker and MGK, just shredding on the guitar, doing that. I'll bring out my cello like the old days, and we'll go out and
Hey,
do something. I will do something with Yo Yo. If anyone knows Yo Yo
love Yo Yo
Mom,
Ma.
he is, Asian, cello. He would sing and rap. I would collaborate with anyone who wants it and loves it as much as me and is trying to spread the same kind of message. But as long as I think I could fit the song well.
Well, I think with your versatility, you could slide. I could see you ripping it with Yo Yo. I've seen Yo Yo Ma on Jesus and Mero doing DMX on the violin,
He's
which is
amazing.
which is amazing. So I could. Oh, you're good. I could certainly see you sliding in the pocket with any of those artists. So, what do you have? You are releasing music fast and furious, and I love it. Everything seems so detailed and so planned, and we always talk about the three P's here: purpose, passion, and a plan. If you have those three, you will succeed. So I know you have a plan. I know you have something on deck. You don't have to give all your secrets away, but what is something that you're working? I know you have some surprises in store. What are you working on now that has you excited creatively?
I'm working on 2 music videos. One is very exclusive, and I can't talk too much about it, but I will say it's a beautiful song about death. It's going to be a natural performance where we're going to perform it live out in the open, record it right then and there, and give a really, really natural feel. On
Love
the
that.
other hand, I'm in the Bay Area right now, and tomorrow I'm filming it with a very pretty well-known up-and-coming Bay Area artist. Shouts out to Came Up Kov, huge in the Polynesian culture, and has really actually back in the day, me and him rap battled, and he kind of was like, I was like, wait a minute, if he can do it, I can do it. So we've very been competitive and pushing each other to the limits. And I'm going to be shooting a big San Francisco shot, shouting out the Bay Area, me and him kind of collaborating, letting them know that, hey, I might be in LA working on all the marketing and reaching out to the labels and the management, but I never forget where I came from. So I'm excited about these 2 projects to show who I really am and where I really came from. And I think that's a juxtaposition from Jump itself. Jump was for everyone, and these next 2 songs are going to be personal. So I'm really excited about those 2 upcoming projects. And it's going to be great.
I can't wait. And when they are ready, you are definitely welcome here. We would love to have you back on because, like I said, we're loving everything that you do. So we've talked about the Hulk origins. We've talked about our mutual love for food. But are you ready to earn your official den mate stamp? This is going to get you in the gang for life. So
I'm
are you
scared,
ready?
but let's do it. Let's do it.
You got it. So this is a game that we play to earn your Den Mate passport. The Den Mate passport comes with a lot of goodies, but more importantly, it's just fun to play. So this game is called That, This, or I Plead the Fifth. So the rules are simple. I'm going to give you a choice to make, and I believe you're brave. I don't think you're going to plead the fifth. We'll give you a simple choice to make. You pick one or the other. Who do you prefer? But if
Okay.
it's too spicy for you, if it's too spicy and you're like, you know what? I don't want to be put on blast on this. We give you a card. You can plead the fifth.
Okay, I'll do my best for you, Sean. I'm ready to get in the hot seat. I'm loosening up my. I'll do my best. Let's do it.
I got you. So this goes out to the coast. This or that. Snoop or E40.
E40, easy. Love you, Snoop. Got to go for E40.
Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. And he has some good wine. Shout out to the Earl Stevens wine. I'm getting to the age where I actually like a nice glass of wine. I never thought that would be. So shout
I
out
might
to
had that wine and he liked it, so I'm glad you got to try it. Yeah,
Super Dope, and shout out to Uncle Snoop over at Def Jam now doing some things.
for sure.
Now, this one might get you kicked out the house, but we're raw here. Chinese food or Mexican food?
Ooh,
You can
Someone's
plead the
gonna be
fifth.
mad at me.
You can plead the fifth if you have to. We don't want anybody getting jumped on our court.
Either my yen, which means grandma in my Chinese side, or my abuelita, which you guys know means grandma on the Mexican side, is gonna get really mad at me. But Chinese food all the way. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love it. I love the Chinese food.
It's great. It's great. It's my favorite cuisine. And now this one is this question. It's kind of serious, but not so much. What fuels you more, hate or love?
Wow. I wish there was another answer than plead the fifth because it's so hard, but I gotta choose this or that. Gotta be love. Gotta be love because you can't function fully on hate. You can't be precise and move the way I've finally found the chemistry to work with the team. You can't move with hate. You got to let that go at some point. You can bring it back for the music, but you got to move with love. So love all the way, all the way.
I love it. That's 3 for 3. That's 100%, which means you're officially a Den mate.
Let's
Gang,
go.
gang,
Let's
gang,
go.
gang. So
Thank you.
you're here. So you've earned the stamp. You've earned the floor. This means you can tell everybody what you got going on, your social media, where they can find you. The floor is yours.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Like I said, Sean just ran an amazing interview. My name is J.Saucy. They call me, aka the Coastal King, just because I love going from the Bay to LA. You can find me on every single streaming platform right now. My top song, Jump, is trending, but I also make a lot of alternative music. So that's J-Saucy. Go check out my YouTube. And I also want to give a shout out to a few people that brought me to this point. One of them, his name is Tyler Chase. He's a Billboard producer. He's been amazing. Wob Life, who I've already mentioned. Marcus 432, great branding, knows how to advertise, really helped me position my social media. And I would say, yeah, shouts out to the whole team, to the Bay Area community, to the LA community, and to everyone really supporting me. Please go check out J.Saucy. It's all about love, spreading passion, and inclusivity. If you're having a hard time, I hear people saying they wake up and they gotta make some sales calls, listen to my song. If you gotta work out, listen to one of my songs. If you're going through a breakup, there's a song from J.Saucy out there. If you need inspiration to pass that LSTAT exam, if you're gonna be a lawyer, there's a song out there for you too. So that would be my message. So thank you for letting me plug that. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And Apple used to say there's an app for that. For J.Saucy, I say there's a song for that. He really is that diverse. But the one thing that's consistent, it's dope. It's dope. And you guys know, if you've been watching Down in the Den, I'm batting 1,000. I've never steered you wrong, and I won't do it on this accord either. So, Jay, brother, it has been a pleasure having you today. You're an official Den mate. You're always welcome. When those new projects come out, we would love to have you back.
Absolutely.
But for everybody that doesn't know what he has in store, email me. You know the information. I'll tell you, he's dope. So as always, thank you again, Jay. For the rest of the Den mates, bidding you guys adieu until next time. And as always, deuces.
Much love. Thank you, guys.
All right.
So like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now. Let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. The show's starting right now.